Hello everyone, Fluffy here, back with a vlog. I am so sorry. I realized that I have not posted a video in over a week, and I apologize. I think it's because I've been posting on the community tab that in my brain I'm thinking, I've been posting. You hear a very loud big dog. She checks her dish to make sure she got all her breakfast. Now she's gulping down water. Sheba, that's enough. I have to do that because if she drinks too much, because she gulps, she'll, and she don't want to lose her breakfast, trust. I'm looking, now the little one has to have a turn. Looking like a busted can of biscuits. Y'all, I literally just rolled out of bed. I slept in a little bit because I fell asleep on the recliner last night. But that counts as sleep because I slept pretty good on the recliner. And Big Dog was a trooper. I usually take her out around midnight, and it was almost 3 in the morning when I woke up and went, oh my gosh, I hadn't taken Sheba out. So, I'm like, what is that? Because trust me, things look different when you look at them through a camera lens. What has been going on? Well, I was looking at my little book, and I started this low-carb diet. I want to say journey, I want to frou-frou it up and call it a journey. It is a diet. Carbs are my emotional support food, and I have not had much of it. So, it is a diet, but hopefully it becomes a lifestyle. So, I started it June 23rd. As of this morning, I am down 11.3.4 pounds. Or 11 and a half pounds, something like that. Definitely 11 pounds. I had 2 setbacks, and I know what it was. I had some emotional dates come up, and of course, like always, I wanted emotional support through food, but I didn't want to sabotage myself completely. So I went to what I knew from the last time that I was on Atkins, which was chicharron, pork skins. They give me the saltiness of a chip. They give me the crunch of a chip because I'm a chip gal. I like pastries, and I'll get a roll on sweets, but then I don't want them after a while. But always the chips. I can go through a bag of jalapeno chips like nobody's business. So I got some of those. 0 carbs. The problem is that I can't stop at just a half a bag, couple of handfuls. I will eat just about the whole bag. And so that made me gain, because of the salt, that made me gain 3 pounds the first time and 5 pounds the second time I did it. And now 2 bags sit over there unopened because I'm not wanting to do that. And so I can kick myself because I would have been further along than I am now. But I try not to dwell on it because it's happened, and I lesson learned. So until I can my daughter sent me something funny. Until I can really grasp it, and I'm working on it. I didn't go way off the deep end when I had those couple of emotional episodes. So progress, and I'll take it. Whatever little, I'll take it. Went out driving yesterday, lifting yesterday and the day before. I wanted to go out today, but I need to listen to my body. I get frustrated because I'm like, come on, it's driving. What the F, But it takes its toll because normally I keep my legs elevated. I do all these things. I limit my movement. I should have closed the front door. You're going to have a lot of me pausing so I can get on to my dog because there's wind. And so, Sheba, no ma'am. But I might take the day off. And usually what I'll do is around noon when I start getting ready to leave, because I got to do a whole lot of things. I got to get dressed. I got to, try to brush what this thing I call on top of my head, I call hair. And then I gotta put stuff up, make sure the dogs can't get into stuff. And so it's a whole thing. So I usually get up, go to my room, do my things, and see how I'm feeling. And if I'm still on a pretty good roll, then I'll just roll myself right out the door. I don't think that's going to happen today. I think I'm going to lay off today and then maybe go tomorrow. Um, so that's what I'm doing. I'm eating a lot of the same foods. I showed y'all that I called it pastaless spaghetti, but it's just pasta sauce and meatballs and some provolone cheese from the deli. But it's really good and it's very low carb. Last night I brought it from 15 to 18 carbs because I had 18 meatballs. I sure did. 18 meatballs, a half a cup of that sauce, and the provolone cheese, about 3 slices, 4 slices, and it was 18 carbs instead of 15. I'm having a little trouble with my blood sugar still. I average 14, 15 carbs a day. One day I only had 7 because I wasn't really hungry. Um, and still, my numbers stay high. I'm in the car and I'm driving. I'll test my blood and it'll be all the way down to like 106. Within an hour, I get in the house, I test, and I'm at 154. I don't understand it. Unless, gaining 55 pounds in 6 months wreaks havoc on your body. So I don't know what damage I did. I don't know what kind of insulin resistance I have. But I'm going to keep trucking. I am losing the weight. I take a glipizide when it's high. I've been fasting. The other day, I fasted for like 20 hours, and it wasn't a big deal for me to do so. So, like this morning, my blood pressure's normal, but my blood sugar is at a 1. Let me see. This is my handy-dandy book. I know I showed it to you for a few seconds, and then the thing cut out, but it says I have 54 minutes. Yeah, I've been deleting like nobody's business. My blood sugar 169. But this is kind of what I do. I don't do it exactly like I'm supposed to, but I just put down what I'm eating, how many carbs, and what the measurement was, how much of it I had. And then I'll do like here. This is everything that's in that pastaless bowl, but then right here, that's total carbs. Okay, I know it's blurry, you really can't see it, and then down here, it'll tell me what my goal is, which is 20 carbs, and what I actually did. And then any notes that I put. Most of the time, I don't put notes. Now, this past Monday, Atkins says you go into a 2-week induction, for those of y'all who don't know Atkins. And by the way, all the other low-carb, keto, carnivore, all of those are spin-offs of Atkins. Atkins was the first. Supposed to do 2 weeks of induction, and then every week you increase your carbs by 5. And then if, like, say, 20 is what he wants you to start at. So then this week I should have been at 25. And as long as I'm still losing weight, I can stay at 25. And then next week I would go to 30. And then, so you know what your threshold is. And then if you get to a point where you've done 40 and you're not losing weight, to go back to 35 to continue to lose weight. Because of my blood sugar numbers and those 2 setbacks, but mostly the blood sugar numbers, I've decided to stay at the induction. This week I'm going to stay at 20. See if I can't get those blood sugar numbers down, because by now they should already be pretty much regulating down for as little as carbs as I've been having, and that's just not happening. I thought it was because I had an infection. I did have a sinus infection, and I went to the doctor, got a Z-Pack, and this is feeling better. I'm no longer dizzy, but the sugar numbers are still staying up. Could be my stress. That does affect blood sugar. I don't know. But health-wise, I'm taking in more water. I'm down to 1 soda a day. I very rarely have 2. Y'all, any of y'all know how I feel about my Shut Up Mona. If you've been with me any length of time, you know that's a feat for me. Even more so than the low carbs. And I know I need to eventually come off them. I do know that. They're not healthy. I know. But let's see. Everything health-wise, I think that's it. by herself. The neighbors, I gotta talk quieter because the door's open. Um, I don't know what happened to the stalker guy, but he's back. And it's really funny. The truck is gone. I imagine it's gone because they're getting it fixed. He finally came back. He was gone, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, maybe 4 days. What I do know is the whole time he was gone, never saw his black dog out. And then one day, just this week, maybe Monday, I'm sitting here, and we've changed the room around. That's why you see my daughter came over and helped me rearrange the room. This is catty corner to where I was, so my front door is to my left, but I can see outside. Um, so I'm looking, and my dog. I try not to let the big one, because the little one gets activated by the big one. But I don't let her bark or growl if they're not in the yard. I won't stop her even if I know who the person is. If they're in the yard, they get barked at. Okay. So this big one starts growling. And I look up and I see him walking up the street. So I'm getting on to the big one, like he's not in the yard. And it's Stalker. Next thing I know, he's in the yard. He's grabbing the black dog. So what what I assume is the day he gets home, his black dog ends up getting out. Interesting. So, I'm trying to think, oh, I got a package from one of the neighbors, and it was a Spectrum, so I know it was equipment, but it wasn't mine. Because I thought, what, the big box? I know nobody sent me anything. Big box? So when I looked at it, it belonged to lot 250. And so I called up the office and I tell them, I said, I can't get it down. You know, if you want the person to come get it, I'm okay with that. No, no, we'll have one of the guys come get it. Then we got torrential rain and I brought it in. They never came. I called her Monday. I called her back Monday. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I forgot to tell them. And I said, okay, well, it's still here. Okay. Um, uh, Nothing. They never came. So Tuesday I call her, and finally I said, listen, no, no, I'll tell Dawn right now. Dawn is her husband who runs the physical property. She runs the office. And so he finally did come and get it. That Friday, though, I don't know if I told you, y'all, I sang. I sang. Apparently, they have caught Rose underneath and tied up, and they've said something. So he got issued a letter personally. That's what she said she was going to do. She's been underneath the house less, but he's still doing it. And I remember telling y'all that I have a camera in towards the back of the house that I don't think they know I have, and I really don't think they know, because I've been catching my neighbor with Rose towards the back where he knows my porch camera can't see him, and he's been allowing his dog to go restroom right by my shed. Like right by my shed. Like as the dog is squatting, if she moves her head, her hips right, she's gonna hit my shed. I haven't said anything, but I did tell her about that it's still happening, that dogs are getting loose, and she's like, and when I brought up Stalker guy, she goes, well, I mean, he's got a lot of health problems. I'm telling you, these people can't hold water. A lot of health problems, and I mean, he's really kind of a nice guy. I said, he acts like he owns the whole street. I don't like him in my yard. I need you to please put in there. I said, he's not the only one that just traipses through my yard. Y'all, that last video that when I was editing it, as I was editing it, Big Dog starts barking. So I look at the camera. 2 teenage girls are just going through my yard, like so close to the house that they could have reached out and touched the deck. And I'm like, and that's what was the last straw. Because I was telling y'all about Stalker guy being in the yard, like using as a cut through for the she shed. And so I explained that to her. And I said there was a young man, a teenage boy, that traipsed through the yard. I haven't seen him again because he stepped in Sheba's poop. And I guess he didn't want to get his shoes dirty again. And she kind of chuckled at that. She goes, no, I'll put it in the newsletter. I'm making notes for the email newsletter right now. I haven't seen a newsletter yet. So, yeah, I went ahead and told it. Um, you know, so she hasn't asked for video footage, but it's all saved. But I did notice that my camera's not catching everything. It's supposed to be weatherproof, these cameras, and this one is run off battery. You have to take it down, charge it. So I just switch one out for the other. I keep one camera charged, and when I take one down to charge, a new one goes up right away. But it didn't catch the black dog in the yard before Stalker Guy showed up to grab her. So I bought a new one. I just have to charge it, and so I can get it out there. I want to take a moment and, you know, say some prayers, and my thoughts are with the people here in Texas that got flooded out. They are southwest of me. Maybe I had told somebody 20 minutes away, but I don't think that's true. It's Kerrville, I think, is about an hour from me. I do know that it's southwest of me. It's between me and Austin. Very tragic what happened. Very sad. A lot of children passed away. I mean, any life lost is terrible, but when it's children, you know, they're still trying to recover bodies and things like that. It's still ongoing, and that makes me very sad. Now, apparently, New Mexico is getting hammered. Pretty bad flooding and things like that. So let's say some prayers for the people in New Mexico. Global warming, it's just the weather's getting worse and worse and worse, and we're very high in weather here. The temperatures have been terrible. I can't imagine next month. So, but yeah. What else? The kid's still coming over. We watch a show. It's called The Last of Us. Y'all, I'm not into zombies. I'm just, you know, the 28. I watched 28 Days a long, long time ago. Zombieland, I've never watched. It's, you know, people. I just the idea of it, you know. But this one is about. It is about zombies, but it's the idea of how they got it. Very interesting. I won't ruin it for anybody that may think about watching it. It is on Max, and that's the series that she and I have been watching. It's the guy who played on, and I get them mixed up because Andor, the character in Andor, the main character who is Andor, and this main character on this, Joel, on this show, I thought they were the same person. And I get them mixed up all the time. And the kid's like, Mom, I'm like, they look really similar. She goes, they really don't. And I'm like, they really do. Anyway, he's the one on the series we're watching. He was the Mandalorian. Same actor. God, good actor. So we've been watching that. She's been coming over. I've got some items in my cart because I'll put it in. I could get it if I'm not going out today, but I'm going out tomorrow. I may have it come today with my kid's pastry in there because I usually buy her. Her favorite is blueberry muffins, so I usually buy a 4-pack for her. And when they come early, y'all, I have been not even thinking about them. The first time I got them after I started this, I'm like, what if I just, you know how muffins, they have that little lip, right? And I'm like, what if I just pinch a little bit off just so I could taste it? And I'm like, Fluffy, they're not yours. Don't do that, because you know how many times you'll go by there just to get a little pinch. Because we justify when we have a food addiction, we can come up with every single idea and justification, I guess is the word I'm looking for, justification to be naughty and do things we know are detrimental, at least for me. And I have spoken to a lot of food addicts, and we all sound the same. But other than that, there's really been nothing going on as far as me and the dogs. They're just trucking away, and you know, Sheba still has her anxiety about me being gone, but with the little one here, that kind of tempers her a little bit. I've had to, I've got boxes and stuff from deliveries that need to go in the trash. And I haven't done it because I have to use them as blockades for Big Dog. Because she'll get up there and she'll scratch things down. You know, she puts drool everywhere, hair everywhere. I mean, so it looks messy in here, but if I threw the trash away that's supposed to be thrown away, it would be good. I've managed to keep things picked up, and that's a plus for me. Only 11 pounds down, but I feel good. Like, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. The scrapbooking, I've got some of my supplies in. Some of them are irritating me because I got a little container. It's a little plastic container, and when you open it, it's got little pieces of paper that are like, let me see if I can show you, like this big, and you have to go through them. And I'm like, this is kind of irritating, but it was fun. It was fun to do. Let me show you the one project. Now listen, don't criticize. And I've been watching them people, and I'll tell them, oh no, that was me, my foot. Oh, don't put that there. Or they'll say, should I use this flower, and I'm like, no, that flower, and they won't use that flower. But that makes me different than them. So this is my first project, and I put every little thing, like the little heart and the little rings. They're two individuals, so you have to really get the clock. You have to get really detailed in what you do. This is like tape. It's like one big. So I really enjoyed doing it. It did relax me. It did do what it's supposed to do. So I'm enjoying it. So we'll see how many I do, and we'll see if. My biggest thing is I would have to do a lot of editing because I don't have peeling the sticker down. You know, I watch the people and when they peel the stickers, and one let it out of the bag. I'm going to do it without editing, trying to get so I'm like, okay, you edit. You start to show them peeling it, and then you edit when you finally get the two pieces apart. And that's my brain. That's too much editing. So I don't know what I'll do. Maybe when I get the hang of peeling stickers, maybe I'll do a video on it. I don't know if that's something that you want to see. Probably other people. But that's what I've been doing. Just trying to maintain every day and rest and try to get rid of whatever this was I needed the Z-Pack for. But just keeping a close eye on my sugar numbers. The glipizide I was taking was over a year old, but now I have new glipizide, and in my brain, the old glipizide was not as strong, right? It loses its potency, so at nighttime, I'm kind of hesitant to take a fresh one. But I got to get over it, right? I was afraid with the blood pressure medicine, and I've been fine. Nothing's happened, so I just need to get over myself is what really needs to happen. So I hope y'all have had a really great week. Again, I apologize for not putting a video out. I really haven't put a lot of pictures because I've been having one meal a day, and every day this week, it's pretty much been the meatballs, the sauce, and the cheese. One picture tells it all. They all the bowls look the same except for where the cheese is placed or has melted. So, but I will post pictures if I make anything different. I made a turkey wing broth. I don't know if I've mentioned it, because I know I told a couple of friends that I had made it. Y'all, it's nothing to look at. The broth turned white because it's bone broth, because I boiled the crap out of that turkey wing. But it tasted so good. And the whole pot, because I have 2 big calderos, and I used one of those because the turkey wing is, I don't know why I thought it was just the size of a chicken wing. See, now I said that to you. I think I mentioned that I was going to make it, or that I did. But it was only 10 carbs because I counted out the onions and the carrots. So the whole thing was only 10 carbs. So, and I got 4 cups out of it. So that makes it 2.5 carbs-ish per cup. So I'm going to try this weekend to make that again because I really, really, really did enjoy it. But it's nothing to look at. That's the thing. I could post it, and all you're going to see is this white liquid. And you know what I mean? Because I don't put a lot of carrots and onions because I don't want to have it to be a very high carb count. I want to drink it at my leisure. So, but if I make anything else, I'll post pictures. I thank you all for your input on it. It means a lot that y'all are looking at it. Christy, did you ever make the pizza? I'm curious to know how yours turned out. If you can email me, fluffyhatesfibro@gmail, a picture if you end up making it. And then let me know if you want me to post the picture of it in the community tab. That would be cool if I could do that. I'll do that for you. Or for me. Or to brag. Just let me know. If not, that's okay too. Having said all that, please enjoy your weekend. If I say if I can think of something to mukbang, I will, but just at the volume that I'm eating, it's just not enough. It took me 5 minutes to eat that little bitty pizza. And about the same amount to eat the meatballs. No, actually it took me about 7-8 minutes because they were hot. But God bless y'all. Positive vibes out to each and every one of you. Remember to always be kind and be your own advocate. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all real soon, okay? Bye.